Hello and welcome to Russology. How you guys doing today? I gotta give a disclaimer, this video is not for children. If you are under the age of 18, you probably shouldn't be watching this video, mostly just because of the foul language and whatnot, but otherwise, not too bad of a video. So stick around if you're over 18. If you're not, I'm not talking to, no minors involved in this conversation, okay? So, voting, and the thing of which we're supposed to do. We're supposed to vote for a new president here in the United States, and it looks like the rest of the countries around the world are looking at us like, what the fuck are you guys gonna do, man? And I think, from my experience, all of us Americans are like, man, what the fuck are we gonna do? And I feel like there's a solution here. I feel like there's a serious solution. Now, first off, one of the commandments in the Church of Russ is that we don't try to push our ideals onto other people. You can present some facts, but as far as, you know, you must think how I think is not allowed here, okay? I'm not going to talk about who I would rather vote for as far as Trump or Hillary goes. I think they're both shit, to be honest. Now, I just had jazz band rehearsal for the first time in 3 months. I'm very excited about that, to be back at the jazz band. And somebody I always like talking to, another musician from that class, we were talking a little bit. And I had to ask, you know, like, hey, so who are you voting for? Trump or Hillary? And he said, Trump. And I'm like, And he's like, hey, don't judge me, man. And I'm like, hey, dude, I ain't judging shit. It's like, you hadn't gotten late. It's like judging a guy that hasn't gotten laid in 5 years being in a bar full of horny fat chicks and giving him a hard time for screwing a fat chick. You know what I mean? Like, nah, dude, I ain't judging. It's vote for whoever you want. But then I asked him, is that somebody that you would consider an ideal candidate for you? He's like, no, fuck no. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. I also want to say, and this is a fact, if you are really involved or really believe in our political process that we have right now, you are being duped. This is a charade. This is bullshit, okay? I've been looking at this shit for the last, I want to say, like 13 years. I don't have a bag of facts to just throw in your face, but if you're up to date, if you've been doing research over the years, you're familiar with this. Like, a lot of people have already done research on where the money's coming from, right? Who's supporting which candidate, how these companies work. If you don't know that we live in an oligopoly, where we only have very few companies running the whole show, then you're just misinformed. But that's what's really happening, is that there are just about 5 companies running the whole show. There used to be this website up that I used to love. It was called theyrule.net, and you could actually see the different board members of these different companies. So you'd see something like, you know, hey, the board members of Pepsi-Cola, that there's a few of those that are also on the board of Coca-Cola, or board members that are on, and then you could click, and then it'll show like these little characters, and the fatter they were, the more boards they were on. So the guy who was on Bank of America board is also on the board for Target, also on the board for Verizon, also on the board for Coca-Cola, also on the board for Wells Fargo. Like, these people are just connected like crazy, man. But even aside from all of that, the fact that we only get to choose 2 out of all of us that are out there, out of all the diversity that we have in the United States, and we are a very diverse country, man. Having only 2 options is ridiculous. It is totally unfair. I mean, our diversity is almost akin to, our racial diversity in this country is akin to our food, you know, like the diversity in our food. Imagine for the next 4 years, somebody told you, okay, you can only eat one thing for the next 4 years, radishes or celery. It's like, ah, shit. Come on, really? I only get to eat one of those 2 things, man? And I didn't even really have a say. Why did it have to be vegetables? You know what I mean? Like, why is it gotta only be vegetables? Why can't it be steak or ribs, you know? Like, why can't it be something more delicious? And that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel. I'm like, celery or radishes? Fuck, man, I feel like I'm being trapped, and I don't really have a choice or a voice at all, which isn't new. A lot of people have been saying, I mean, that's not new, going all the way back to the first election between Adams and Jefferson. I mean, the whole debacle and the whole controversy with the Electoral College having, being the ultimate decider as far as who our president was back in the George W. Bush and the Al Gore election. Remember, Al Gore won he actually won the Democratic vote, so he won every single vote. Like, he had the majority of votes of the people, but W won the Electoral College. Same thing happened with Adams and Jefferson way back then. Adams had won the Electoral College, but Jefferson had actually won. I can't remember the actual term, but he actually won literally the majority of the votes of the people. So this kind of shit's been going on for a while, but that's not necessarily what's happening right now. Is we have two shitty candidates, and I don't think anybody that has any clue of what's really happening in this country or in the world, I don't think that you really, unless you really know what's going on, you would rather not vote for either of them. So I'm thinking of voting for myself. That's my number one candidate right now. I'm thinking of voting for Shartimus Prime. And I want you guys to vote for me too. No, I'm not saying that at all. I wouldn't. I would be a shitty candidate also. I don't want to do that. But the thing that I just joke about it because I saw Philip DeFranco did a video today about people voting for the gorilla that got shot down, and I was like, damn, I'm kind of down to vote for the damn gorilla. I'm down to vote for a dead gorilla. That might as well, right? Okay, so here's the thing here's the real point of this video that I'm trying to get at. That is, back in my college days, during my political science class, I remember that there was a part of, when we were studying the Constitution, I remember that there was a part in the Constitution that said that if the American people can organize themselves and decide in a majority that they're unhappy with the government and unhappy with the way the government is running things, that we could actually we have the option for a clean slate, that we can remove all people in power, that if we feel that our government has been so corrupt that they no longer represent us and they're no longer acting in the interest of the people, we can actually clear them out. We can vote, all of us can vote and say, all of you motherfuckers are fired. We can do that. Now, here's what I ask you. It's been a long time since I've read this, but I'm hoping somebody out there who's more familiar with the Constitution than I am can actually pull this up and find it. I need to spend some time actually looking for it myself, but I'm just really curious if we can actually do that. It sounds like something that should be in the Constitution, and I remember reading it from this class. So please help me in getting more information on this, if I'm even correct, because I could very well be wrong. College was a long time ago for me, so I just want to know for sure if this is a real possibility, and if it is a real possibility that we can actually gather together as people and all agree that, hey, this government is fucked up. They're not acting in our best interest. None of them are. They're all fired. Then we should fire them. Because I don't think anybody's happy with the way this shit's going on right now. I mean, you could say that for, a lot in the whole history of the U.S. Oh yeah, nobody's been happy with the government. But really, have we ever sunk this low? Has it ever really gotten this bad before? I don't know, man. I've only been around for 34 years, almost 35, but I think we're at a brand new all-time low. I think we've actually hit some pretty big lows in the past too, but I think this is really bad, where I feel like as the people we're really being choked here. So let me know, all right? I'm not gonna go on, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about us just going with a clean slate, huh? That's the point of this. Clean slate. Can we actually do it? Can we wipe them all out? And I'm not talking about the killing. I'm just talking about fired. You're fucking fired, man. You guys suck. God, there's so many problems in this country, so many things that I feel like we're just doing wrong constantly, and it's the fact that the powers that be, the people that really have control over this country are business people. You need to know that. Everybody needs to understand that first and foremost, that the people running the shit are not the people that you think are really running the shit. And there's a lot of people that already know this, so, you're probably already well aware. But for real, we need to hit the reset button. So help me, man. It's possible. We can hit the reset button. I'm pretty sure we can do it. Just let me know if we actually can. And I want to see the actual legislation or the part of the Constitution that actually describes this and spells this out. Can you help me? Huh? Can you help me? All right, let me know, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!